with the Lions.
All right, Lion family, welcome to our first episode, Season 1, Episode 1 of Live with the Lions. We have Sienna Durr from Iowa right now, who is going to check in with us and give us a little bit of a rundown about what she's been up to during this very interesting time for the Lions. And we're going to talk a little bit about last year and some of our successes. See, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
The first thing I want to know about, because I'm actually not very involved, because it's sort of a player-led thing, is the Harlem Children Zone situation. Can you just tell us what that is and what you're doing with them?
Yeah, definitely. So this summer, a couple of us from the team created this mentorship program that is in connection with Harlem Children Zone, which is like an after-school program in Harlem. We're working specifically with 6th and 7th grade girls who also play on their basketball team there. And we have set up this mentorship program that is called SEED. So SEED is an acronym because here at CUWBB, we love acronyms. And SEED stands for Success, Envision, Empowerment, and Determination. And those four pillars are things that we're really trying to instill in these girls to be able to see their future as empowered women, and they can succeed at anything they set their mind to. So we have been meeting once a week on Wednesdays with these girls, and we set up different games for them to get them feeling comfortable with us. Each of the girls has either 1 or 2 mentors of us from the team, and we're really just trying to help them out. And it's been really fun, and it's been really great. We have kind of a speaker series going on as well, and then also we did a goal setting session last time, so it's going along really well, and I really hope that we're able to transition it over to be in person when we're able to all physically be back together in New York.
Who came up with SEED?
I think it was kind of a group effort, but I think I came up with it, and
You're taking credit for it?
I will take credit for it. It was kind of like a naming session of, we were like, okay, we want an acronym because we think that's the best. And we can't make it Columbia affiliated because there's some compliance stuff in there.
Right.
We were like, can't have Columbia be a part of it, so get that C out of here. Like, can't use that. So we decided to go along kind of like an edge theme, you know, how those are pillars and those are the things we stand by. So let's try to come up with a word that we can really get behind and our girls can get behind, and they can just spout out our words whenever we ask for what SEED stands for.
Wow, I love that.
Right now we're doing our SEED speakers series basically. So we've done Success, which we actually brought in Coach G to talk to them about her being a very successful woman. Last week we'd had Envision, so we did a goal setting session and made vision boards with them. And then this week, this upcoming Wednesday, will be our empowerment session, and we're still working on getting a speaker for that one, but I think it'll be a good one regardless.
Nice. How did you divvy up who was going to be with what girl? Was it random, or did you get a profile of who they were?
So the first 2 sessions, we didn't have our mentorship pairs yet. We were creating trust with us and the girls so they would feel comfortable talking to us. It was a little bit of getting to know their personalities so we could pair up people who work well together and just figure out who they're all about. So we had about 2 sessions where we had mentors and mentees hop around, talk to each other, and then some mentors felt really strongly about their mentees, so they're like, I want this girl. And then others were just based on personality, they were going to work really well together, and that's how we set it all up.
And you're going to try to get this to continue all the way through the rest of this year?
Yes, the rest of this year, and we hope to continue on next year as well. Right now it's kind of difficult because the girls are definitely zoomed out. They are on Zoom all day at school, and then they go into their after school programming, and it's all on Zoom as well. So it's definitely been a very kind of difficult balance of, okay, we need to make this be engaging and exciting and fun for them, so it's not like we're lecturing them about what we're teaching, but then we also need to bring in that kind of educational component as well, so we can actually get our pillars across to them and make this a very beneficial program. But we're hoping when we're able to all be back together in New York that it can be a physical, in-person program. We're hoping that they'll be able to come to our practices and our games, and we hope that our mentorship pairs will blossom into a true like mentor-mentee relationship as they get older as well.
Okay, let's pivot real quick and talk about you during this time.
Mm-hmm.
You just did a really awesome trip with Mikayla Markham. Can you give us the Spark Notes version?
Spark Notes version of the trip.
Spark Notes version.
Okay, so we did a 2-week road trip around the West and the Southwest. So Mikayla and I have been talking about it for a while, and I'm still so happy that it actually came to fruition, because I really didn't think it was going to for a while. It was just kind of this, oh, that would be so great. But we actually did it. And so we started in Colorado, and then we went to Utah and visited Arches National Park and also Zion National Park. We were able to swing through Las Vegas and see Lil and Jay there in Vegas. And then we went out to California for a couple days. We were able to be in LA, and then we also camped in Joshua Tree National Park. From there, we went on to Phoenix, and then the Petrified Wood National Forest in Arizona. Very, very cool place, and like the Painted Desert.
Interesting.
And then from there, we went to Albuquerque, New Mexico, which was kind of random, and then Amarillo, Texas, which was also random. And we went through Oklahoma City, which was actually a really nice place. Never been there. Very much enjoyed it.
Interesting. Never been there either.
And then up through Kansas City, which was also cool. And then back to Iowa. And then I'm home. And that's 2 weeks.
Wow. I'm actually really happy for you guys that you were able to do this.
We did so many fun things on it as well. And there were just times where it's like, wow, we like could have died doing that, but we did it. And it was still So I'm excited. So it was so much fun. I would recommend everybody do it. Just do it.
Yeah. What were the peaks and valleys? Like, what was the best thing? What was the worst thing of the entire trip?
Peaks. I'd say my favorite place that we went was Moab. So that's where Moab, Utah. That's where Arches National Park is.
Okay.
We went skydiving, which I always wanted to go skydiving, and it was kind of an out of the blue thing. We kind of drove past the billboard. I said, "Hey, Kay, what if we go skydiving?" She says, "If it's less than $200, I'll do it." I'll be like, "Bet." And we looked it up, and it was. So we booked an appointment for the next day, and then we jumped out of a plane. So
wait, hold on. You did not plan that in your original itinerary?
No, not at all.
Stop. You just saw a real billboard and you just did that.
Yes.
Wow, guys.
I looked it up on TripAdvisor, really good reviews. So we're fine. And then also the funny thing is, we both agreed, we're not telling our moms, because our moms will say, don't do that. And we told Hannah Pratt that we weren't telling our parents. And Hannah's one of the ones to tell her parents everything. So she's like, "You're not telling your moms? That's terrible." And we then told her, "So if we don't call you by a certain time tomorrow, you can assume that we didn't make it. So you can call our moms and tell them what was up."
Oh.
This pit in her stomach all day of, oh my God, I have this responsibility if something happens. I have to call their parents.
That's very strategic of you.
Yeah, I know. It was smart, wasn't it? And then we survived. I FaceTimed my mom immediately, and she goes, "No way." I could see her get almost mad, and then she was happy for me. So that was our skydiving experience, and it was very fun.
Are there photos, videos?
We did not pay for the photo. The same price as jumping out of the plane, so that made no sense. So we did not pay for that, but we have photos from before and afterwards, in our harnesses. Basically, we're just in harnesses. There's nothing else. We could have or we could not have jumped out of the plane, but we're in the harnesses nonetheless.
Oh my God, that is amazing. I had no idea you guys did that.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. My cheeks were just like, burr, burr, burr.
Amazing.
definitely recommend skydiving at some point in your life.
I
In a
will.
that also makes it
What'd you
good.
say?
I said in a pretty location. Don't go somewhere boring. Like I wouldn't skydive in Iowa. That would not sound like fun to me.
Just like fields.
Yeah. Like I know what that looks like.
Yeah, your backyard's one.
Like I'm looking at a field as we speak. So
How did you end up in New York City for Columbia? Because there's many schools you could have gone to that are lots of land that might have felt more like home. But you ended up in a very busy, awesome city.
yeah. The thing is, I wanted the complete opposite of where I grew up. So
Okay.
I knew I wanted to go somewhere metropolitan, a city somewhere. I didn't know where. And you can't really get much more metropolitan than New York City. It's a little hard, a little difficult to, get better than that. So I love it. I love it. I love the pace of the city. I love there's always things to do. And there's so many different types of people that you can meet and interact with. And I love it. It's just complete different change of pace and scenery and everything that I grew up with. And
Okay, what is your go-to restaurant on campus and then go-to restaurant that is just in general in New York?
in the area of Morningside Heights, my go-to would probably be Jin Ramen because I love ramen. But
Yeah.
also very close by is Kiku Sushi, where they have good sushi there. It is cheap, but it's good. You don't feel like, oh, I'm gonna be sick. Great deals, all you can eat sushi, fantastic, great time, highly recommend.
Sponsor us. Sponsor us.
It's a really fun time.
Before we started recording, we were talking about your trip to Asia.
Last summer, yes.
And now I'm realizing you've had a good chunk of travel time in the past couple of years.
Yes. Well, I'd say that's one of my passions. That's something that I will never get tired of, is traveling around, like seeing new parts of my country, seeing new parts of the world, experiencing new cultures, new food, meeting new people. Like that is something that I just love. And I'm like, if I could just take all of that and just make it my profession, like I need to be a travel blogger or something, but I don't have that passion for writing. I just want to do it.
Yeah.
Last summer, so summer of 2019? Yeah, summer
After your first year of school?
the summer after my first year, I went to Asia because there was this woman in the sports management program at Columbia who was starting this kind of like cultural exchange within sports. And she wanted young women to be able to go over to Asia and be able to coach basketball, put on clinics, but also have it be an intercultural exchange. So we're actually also interacting with these people from China and Japan outside of basketball. And then we also have a lot of time to sightsee and be able to take in both those countries in a really cool way. So we were able to coach a couple clinics for kids from 5 to 6 years old all the way up to college students. So we had a very large range of ages that we were coaching, both boys and girls. We were able to take part in some English classes at a Japanese university, which was amazing. And then we just were able to sightsee in our times in both Japan and China, which it was a really great experience. And it'll go down as one of the coolest trips that I've been on so far. I hope I go on many more, but at this point it is one of the coolest trips I've ever been on.
I mean, it's cool that you were able to do it and have basketball sort of as a focal point. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Coming back to basketball, are you doing anything now, like be ready for next year? Are you working out? Are you in where?
And I'll be very honest about this. It has not been easy to just stay motivated knowing that it's so far in the future. But working out by yourself day in and day out also gets really boring when you're used to being around your teammates and competing. And I'll say a large part of my game is just like my competitive drive. So being by myself and doing that has been kind of a difficult thing to navigate. So during the past 2 weeks while I was with Mikayla, it was really fun because we were able to play one-on-one just almost every day. So that was really nice to be able to have that kind of competition aspect back into it. But yeah, definitely looking forward into the future, trying to grow my game right now.
Were you finding outdoor basketball courts on your?
Oh yeah, all over. That's how we did it.
Oh, that's awesome. Assuming that last year the Valley in the Peaks and Valleys was not being able to go to the tournament, which was a super bummer. I'll answer that one for you. But what was the peak of last season? Because obviously it was one of the more successful seasons Columbia
The
has ever
peak.
had.
Peak. I'll say there were some really fun wins that we had and just kind of like monumental for us, like getting our sweeps and being able to just celebrate those. Like that's exciting, spirits high, great time. But I'll say the peak was, I think we had just beat Yale at Yale. That was a real fun game, close game. And it just, I think we played well as a team that game. And I was just able to see like, wow, we're going to be able to do this. Like our hard work that we've put in, we're going to be able to make it to the Ivy League tournament right now. Like we hadn't set it in stone. We hadn't solidified it yet. That wasn't like the make or break game. But I felt like getting that win, we were able to go forward with this confidence of we can 100% do this and make it. So I'd say that was one of the peaks of the season, even though there were many, but that was an exciting one. And I just remember like the spirits being high, like on the bus ride afterwards, and it was a good time.
What was the most fun bus ride we had
Bus
after a
ride.
win?
What game was it that we had like comedy hour? What was that after?
The Lions Comedy Club?
Yeah, Lions
Yeah.
comedy on
It
the
was
way home.
after we clinched a spot, so it would have been after Dartmouth.
After Dartmouth on the way home, which was fun because there were some things to be down about there, but
Yeah.
then it also was just like the team bonding on the bus, getting up to the front, telling your joke, even though some of the jokes were terrible. I was just like trying to feed people dirty jokes. I was like, just go say this.
Nope.
Just go say it. Like,
All right. Well, I don't want to keep you too long because this has been we've now talked for over an hour and 20. Thanks for coming on and joining Live with the Lions. Do you have any parting words you would like to tell our fans and family?
miss you guys. Wish we could be playing basketball right now. You guys could be supporting us, but stay safe, stay healthy, wear a mask. Everything will be great.
Go Lions.
Go Lions!
Woo!